Grinders, it is your boy Dusty Truth here with something a little different for you today. I'm going to do a review of a big final table here we just had in Ontario. This is Pokerstars Fall Fest series. They had a $500 tournament, and on the client they actually have Cards Up replay. They just kind of have it in a loop. You can't pause it and start to finish, but I timed it where I just timed it perfect where I can record it. I do know who won, but I wasn't able to watch it. I was playing when this happened, and when I recorded it, I was playing as well as again. So I know a couple spots or a couple, who went out, but I haven't seen the hands. So I thought it was a good way we can watch this together. Because a lot of heavy hitters are on this final table, like a lot of great players. It's a 500, and I've never done this before. There'll be different skill levels who watch this. I think some people will learn a lot of how I break down the game. Other people will know more than me, and I'll be wrong in a lot of spots, but it's all part of learning. So we'll kind of just learn together. I'll tell you if I think someone messed up, and I could be right or wrong. I'm not going to look up the spots. I'll just tell you my intuition of just watching it. So let's just watch this. This happened just a couple of days ago. The screen will adjust in a second. I made it bigger. I cut off the border. I kind of just showed you what tournament it was. I thought it said 500 at the top, but so this is a $500 buy-in. As you can see, the prizes on the side are $11,000 for first place. We have Team Pro here, Egyptian, who's been a pro. He was GG Poker Ontario's pro for a long time. Now he's Team Pro for WPT Global. We have a lot of great players. I'm not going to go through all of them, but right off the back, we have Pocket Kings from the chip leader as Windex. Kind of straightforward. You see I have everyone tagged but one player. All that would really mean I don't share my tags, but all it means is if I don't have you tagged, especially at the 500s, it means you probably don't play them often enough, or I haven't ran into you, right? So let's see who gets out of line, who sticks to kind of GTO. Stack sizes kind of change everything. And a great way to learn, guys, is if you want to do how I do this when I watch like the GG Master final tables, is I think Egyptian's going to raise here. You want to pick every single spot, and this is one thing of training our GTO lab, their trainer. Most trainers, you just play a spot and it folds and you get sent to a new hand. Our GTO lab, you get to train every position. So when I study, like watching this live, I like to think of like what I would do in every single spot. So, and I also like the bet size. And when I'm completely wrong, then that's a spot where I want to tag and see, like try to put more thought of like, why am I wrong? So I think Egyptian here is going to bet. Here, I'm going to adjust the screen there. It looks like, so perfect. That'll look a little better in a second. I think he's going to do a small C bet, maybe 1.5. And I won't be able to guess all these right. Everyone has their own style. I think threes will float once. I think they have to. I think they'll call, especially at this bet size, and doesn't call. Okay, so I was already off the bat wrong. I'm gonna be wrong a lot, guys. Some of these things I'll be right. Sometimes the things I'll get right doesn't mean it means the player made a mistake too, right? So King Jack would raise here, and chip leader often just does a min raise. That little stuff you don't have to worry about too much. I think ace 2 folds, everything folds. 10-3. Your offsuit hands are going to fold a lot in the big blind compared to chip EV. For the newer players, like chip EV is a term just kind of like in the middle of tournaments. If you start a tournament or in the middle of a tournament, and if you're on a final table, you switch your strategy to something called ICM, and it changes your ranges and how you're going to play. So ace 4 here, offsuit is probably going to raise here from the cutoff, and then won't defend queen 5. So everything's been pretty straightforward, but we will see fireworks with the players on this table, and as the people get lower and lower, the ICM pressure builds. So I'll try to get king 10, which should raise here. I personally would have raised a little bigger, and look at the speed of these guys. They're playing super fast. 7-9 being this deep, I think the chip leader defends. If I had the 10 kings suited, I would have raised it up somewhere between 2.1 to 2.5. That's just me. So all very standard so far. I can't believe how fast these guys are playing. Unless I have this in speed. Wow, sevens. So I don't know sevens is supposed to do that. I think sevens is a fold there, but I could be wrong. It's very close because the big blind is so shallow. Alan finds a 3-bet. This is a slam dunk 3-bet. Somewhere between 4.5 all the way up to 6 is pretty standard nowadays. 4.8 is perfect. I personally probably would have went 5 or 4.5, but it's all the same. So it's going to go check, bet, and I would imagine a fold. And this will be interesting what size Allen uses. 3.5. Does he do 10%? He went more like closer to a 10% bet. Yeah, very nice. So this will go to Feith with ace jack will open. And we'll see kind of like when something's like when I'm crazy off here, which will definitely happen, right? King jack will raise, and I would size up a little bit. Yeah, 2.7 could be just Feith standard bet size, like locked in on their buttons. If you're using a trainer, they give you more options, and 2.7 probably isn't one of them, but it's all the same. So this will go all the way around to probably jack queen will be the first raise. Clearly I was playing another table when I was recording. Oh wow, no one does anything, so that's not too bad. This will go around to maybe queen 10. Queen 10 probably opens here. But it is tricky because how shallow the cutoff is. The chip leader here, queen 7 off isn't really the combo, but can really put you in a hard spot being right beside the chip leader. So queen 7 can get her line here. Sorry, 9-7 could have raised there just because how deep he is and this late in position. Wouldn't have hated it. 8-3 from the limp here. If I was Allen, me personally, I'd lean on more raising that or folding it. I wouldn't really limp it. But I wonder what the best play is there. If you are going to have some folds, you got to think like 2-5, like 3-8. This would be a fold, but you can mix in your bottom of your range for some raises, and easy to get away from. Him checking this board is pretty standard. I'm wondering if he leads out now. He might double check this though. Yeah, and then Egyptian here is going to check this almost every time. He's showdown value with the king high inside straight. He doesn't want to get checked raised off this hand. Is way too valuable, so check it. Now the question is, if Allen tries to go for value, happy to check this down. He might bet like 1.5. Oh, he goes over pot. I was not expecting that. This is what I mean. Everyone plays so different, right? So are you literally trying to target like king high? Because what's going to call you here? Anything for value has you beat, like unless he's going to target a 7. Your kicker on a 3 is not good. So he's literally trying to get some 7s, maybe some low pairs that didn't raise, which at the step that they wouldn't, and king high, queen high. But I'm surprised he used pot, because the bigger you go, the narrowing the calling range is there. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure he has his reasons. Ace 9, I don't think that's an open. I could be wrong. It's very close. Yeah. So if I have the chip leader here, so chip leader can actually flat just call behind him at a very high clip. You can 3-bet this. The newer stuff you're seeing in Sims, yeah, very nice that he flatted there. It puts people in a very hard spot. Like, look at this, ace jack from the, oh my gosh, ace queen in the big blind. If you're Pat here, you don't have too many flats from the small blind. This is maybe a jam or a fold. Like, I can honestly see this is probably indifferent. Oh my gosh, yeah, you got a fold, a flat, or maybe just a jam. I don't know if you have small 3-bets there, maybe a small 3-bet fold. But he knows Windax could have a very strong range. And look at ace queen. What does ace queen do? Wow, ace queen just calls it, doesn't go for the queen. The squeeze. Already, guys, we're seeing some very, very interesting hands here. We haven't even lost anyone yet. As shallower stacks and less people get in, there'll be a lot more ICM pressure. Now, top pair that raised here with ace 9 has to lead out here. It does go big. I do like that. But Windax could have overpairs there, tons of suited hands, and you're on a flush board. But you're denying equity, you're taking down the pot. Wow, that is an interesting hand. I'm not even sure if ace 9 should have been in the hand, but I could be wrong there. Queen 10 suited under the gun. Yeah, raise it for sure. And it probably gets all the way to the big blind. And the big blind probably will defend, especially because he has them covered. If the stack sizes are reversed, so a weak ace Against under the gun, I guess not. But in chip EV you defend, but ICM I guess not. Like these spots, guys, like I'm just talking out loud, right? So king queen will jam here, might leave a chip behind, like go 2.5. Some people go too big, like they'll leave themselves like 0.35. I'd go like 2.5 here. Yeah, so what happens is, say there's like multiple all-ins, you didn't leave yourself enough. If you go 2.5, it accomplishes the same amount. Now this is a gross spot. Yeah, that's interesting. No bounty to call there. Like Jack 10 suited for sure. I guess that's a interesting spot as well. King queen short stack doubles up. Guys with the pay jump. I imagine this goes to Egyptian's going to raise. Oh, Allen. We're going to get Allen wrong a lot, I bet. Raises ace-4 here with all the stacks behind him. This is pretty loose. Me personally, I don't know if I would have found this raise, and especially at a harder final table, but this shows you the skill level, and good for Egyptian doing a standard 3-bet here. And probably knows Allen's going to get her line at times too. Very interesting if you get 4-bet here, if you call there. So, and it's also interesting to see how people do their 4-bets, if they're using like a randomizer. Is it player dependent? Standard fold though. So I imagine this is a limp call to a jam, an ISO. If he chooses to go like 3.5 to 3, he might you're supposed to just jam these two. Let's see if iFold finds it. I would jam. Oh man, let's go, baby. And snap jam too. You didn't even think about it. Let's go. Nice job. It's hard to do this on big final tables, right? Like people know this stuff, and to do it in practice or in real life is really good to see. Oh my gosh, look at the dynamic between Allen and Egyptian. Imagine he 3-bets this, and once again the stack sizes are different. Maybe he just flats, but he probably 3-bets. He does 3-bet, and what does ace jack do? Ace jack just folds, yeah. And then here, probably you can. I don't think you really want to flat. Probably 4-bets to 10, somewhere between 10 and 12.5. Especially knowing Egyptian's going to be 3-betting wide compared to the mostly people. Finds 11, yeah, pretty much good. I think the smaller you go leaves you a bit of wiggle room to fold. Bigger you go, you're almost getting pot committed, right? So say you went 15, like you would never do that. Now this is a gross spot here. I think you have to fold. Like I would have found the 3-bet. I would have found the 4-bet. I think here you just fold. Sorry, I'm getting some messages here. 5-bet jam. Oh my gosh, with this short stack here. That's actually wild. Egyptian's the mad. I gotta be honest, guys, I'm not finding that jam there. And he says few. That's crazy. Good for him. That's wild. So that's just also giving Allen so much respect to his game. In Ontario, guys, like guys don't 4-bet enough, myself included. So like he just showing how much respect he has for Allen's game there by doing that. Like if it was this guy here, like I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, there's 0 chance he's 5-betting jamming that guy. So he's actually probably happy getting to play a top player in the sense of he knows Allen's range a lot more than some of these other guys when you don't know if they're going to tighten up and find all the plays. But that was very elite. Probably not GTO approved, but I could be wrong. So this is pretty standard. This probably gets folds all the way around, yeah. So I always like to see what I'm going to see. I would imagine this gets to ace 10, the chip leader. Oh, sorry, I didn't see under the gun. Ace 10, probably he can flat now, but might fold. But when you're chip leader, you can start flatting very wide there. and steal a lot of pots post flop. I personally probably would have just flatted. Now on a harder final table, depending on your skill level, maybe you take the softer line. But say this is a $50 buy-in and it was all, not high stake players, and you're the one high stake. You're able to get her line a bit more. King. This guy's probably multi-tabling. This is a snap fold. Just to give you guys contents, this was Sunday. No one knows they're gonna have a deep run. Some of these guys easily could have 6 to 10 tables still open, and you're 12 hours into your session. I think this was after midnight, if I had to guess. When it was live, I was playing. I jumped in when they're down to 7, and I think I stopped looking when they're down to 5 because I was just late, tired over my session. So I saw a little bit, but not much. So the 6-7 offsuit, because he's so deep, makes sense. Probably bet call, depending on the size he uses. If he goes big, yep. So the Egyptian has to call here, even more so with the backdoor 6 of hearts inside straight. He's never folding. Be very freaking gangster check raise, but you can against under the gun range here is just. But you do have 2 pairs that Feith wouldn't have. You have more sets because he shouldn't be really opening up 7s and 3s. So you have more sets and more 2 pairs. I guess A7 suited, A3 suited would be open. So maybe I'm wrong by that. So do you double barrel here? I think you have to. With the problem is with the 2, right? He would barrel any 10, any jack, any queen, any king. You'd bet. And he goes big here. Wow, that's interesting. He gets a fold, yeah. Yep. Ace 5 folds. This will probably go all the way to. This might go all the way to the small blind. And let's see if Egyptian uses an ISO or decides to flat. Oh, Alan here at the king 2 off. Wow. And especially with the Egyptian got him covered. King 8 offsuit sometimes can get her to line here and do a 3-bet. I can't believe Alan's opened up king 2. That just shows you he's coming for the W. He's not here to ladder up. King 8 defend makes sense. I'm questioning once you're down to how shallow you start maybe getting rid of that, but maybe not. So that board hits the defend range so much, and now that Alan picked up a 2, he's got showdown. This might go check again. He might not have to bet this now. I wonder if he's going to do a delay bet. If it was, say that was a 3, he probably would have stabbed at it now, but maybe not with a king high for showdown. But now he's going to check this for sure. Now does Feith try to feel weakness and stab at this? You're blocking the straight. He would have bet by now. I wouldn't hate a stab here, and you don't have to go big, 2.5 to 3. But you can also say, but your king high is probably not going to be that strong if Alan hasn't bet yet. And he just takes it down with a 2. So the problem with doing that, then the whole table sees you raise king 2 offsuit. But that's crazy. Under the gun had a bit of a decision there, but I guess not. 3s, I don't know if 3s is a jam there. It could be. But I think when this guy's this low, I don't think it probably is. I'm leaning on it's like 5s or 6s. It's probably too wide. And look at this, runs into queens, and that's kind of why. So we probably just lost our first. Oh shit, the 3 on the river here. I thought we were down to 8. And what's the ladder jump? If $500 buy-in, $1,500 locked up, then it goes to $1,800. So Alan will raise the ace 10 if he's raising king 2. He's raising this, and then Pat's got a hard decision. You can click back 3 bets. Look at the dynamic. It's just so funny. You always think someone's messing with you, and then look at the cards here. So you could 3-bet, and you could see a 4-bet here. No one else can get in the hand, and someone's down to 2.5 big blinds. So crazy, you're gonna have to let that go. So obviously blind versus blind, the small blind would have jammed. Now he's got to fold, and Egyptian does find the 3-bet. Let's see if Alan clicks it back or folds. You can't call, I don't think. I think you 3-bet or fold is my guess. Sorry, 4-bet. I'm just still tired. Just woke up not too long ago. And then what size do you use? Like 12. They've already had a four, maybe. Oh my gosh, he did again. I was just thinking the dynamic the last time he five bet jammed on you. And good for Alan to not give a shit. So this is obviously a bluff, guys, right? So you're 4-bet bluffing. He folds to any jam, and then I would imagine he has to give up this one, but I was wrong. I never would have found the queen jack suited, but I would imagine he's got to fold here. Like you can't call. I think he would probably float with king 10 suited, but maybe not versus a 4-bet king jack queen. But they might have just flatted and not even done this. So yeah, that's wild. It's nice seeing high level players do take these lines that, like, you see on a chart, but in game a lot of guys don't do them. But it helps when you have a lot of respect for each other, right? So ace 6. So ace 5 would be an open. I'm wondering if ace 6 is it might be like strange where you fold ace 2 3, open 5, and fold like ace 6 ace 7. Sometimes you see stuff. Now ace 10's got a decision. Once again, he can just open jam here. He can defend. He could even do a small 3-bet, but I think it's more recommended probably just a jam. You don't want to play post flop, but a jam wouldn't be horrible against this. Like, wouldn't have hated a jam, but I can understand. Getting out right now would be, ICM. You have a guy down to 2 big blinds, a guy down to 6. Coolers happen, and he floats. So I'm surprised Egyptian used that bet size. I would have went bigger on that flop against that stack size. I would have went half pot, me personally, but everyone has their own style. Wow, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think you ever lead out with a 3. This isn't chip EV. So chip EV, you do an ICM, this doesn't make sense. He's got you covered. Now, if I fold you, show had like 30 big blinds and Egyptian had 17, but I don't think you do being the short stacked. And look at this. Look at this. Pat's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, your story doesn't, like, what are you leading out with here? Holy shit, eh? That's wild. Oh my gosh. We're seeing some crazy shit here, guys. I wouldn't have done the lead out by I fold. I'm pretty sure I would have seen where I'm at. Like, I like what Egyptian's doing here. There's zero chance I'm clicking back at him. I would have gave up with the ace 10. Wow. I fold you show. His name's Adam, guys. For those who don't know, he's a streamer on Twitch as well and YouTube, stuff like that. So we have a lot of good players here. Ace 10 under the gun here. So I think this might be a fold because you have all these stack sizes. Yeah, 6s here, gets out because this will probably go to Feith, and then never mind. Alan with king 8 offsuit here in the middle of position. This is wild. This is not obviously GTO approved, but he's just going for max pressure. And look at this, gets it all the way through. What a boss, man. I would not be doing that. Like, I probably would start opening up king jack. You can question king 10 off, obviously suited, maybe king 9 suited, king 8 suited, right around there, but I would not be raising king 8 off. But Alan's a different beast, man. So if you have 2.5 big blinds, probably jams here. There's a value of staying in the game, but at one point you go for the win. It's not as easy. And then how about this? The big blind has 2-7 and can't even defend. Look at this. As if you get that through with less than 3 big blinds. You can't call, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a... Poker's so funny, man. So Alan finds 4s there. And then look at this. The same dynamic. Egyptian has another hand versus him. And if you don't forget, guys, they can't see their cards. There's been nothing but 3 bets, 4 bets, even a 5-bet jam. And now he's going to 3-bet him again. And what size does he use? 4.5, 5, 5.5. So that's interesting because he's in position. I think out of position you go bigger. I wouldn't have went that big, especially. It's not. This is all minor differences, guys. I'm just literally trying to learn because you want to see what people are doing and. But I think anywhere between 4.2 to 6 would be standard. This is going to go check, bet, fold. Now, really interesting what size Pat uses here. I'd go maybe 3.5. You do need, and he went small. Yeah, I get it. You don't need too much protection. Queens might go a little bigger. Your kings are pretty safe there. You want to, try to get max value. Quick fall from Alan there too. So this will probably go to Feith will raise ace jack, and this will go all the way to the small blind. Let's see if he defends. I don't think you actually defend here. Good for that guy. Wow. Alan, snap call check. Probably a small c bet. I like to go a bit bigger in final tables. A lot of people don't. Especially if the stacks are reversed. If Feith had 45 and Alan had 27, I would go a little bigger here. But that's just a personal thing. Wow, the check raise here. Alan is a beast. I totally understand it. King's a pretty good card for Feith. I doubt he does that. If it was ace 5-6, he probably wouldn't check raise, but on the king he does, so that's interesting. King queen under the gun raises here, probably the bottom in ICM. I don't think you would do a king jack. This will be a call. We haven't even lost anyone yet. This is wild. He gets the flush draw. So I don't think you can lead out because how high they are. But say this was a low combo flush board. Say it was like 6-4-2 with 2 clubs. Then I think you start getting to having some leads. I don't think you can on this type of board. I don't even think it's worth check raising. You don't want to be having to get it in. And get, you also don't want to get thrown off his hand. So Alan did before because the 3-bet, if he has to fold, it's not a big deal. Egyptian does not want to have to give this hand up. So I don't think you ever see a 3-bet, but I've already been wrong numerous times so far. So he does call. So this is interesting. Not often the ace helps the big blind here. This is all Feith. So, you already had top pair. Do you start pot controlling or bet the card for your range? I'd imagine this goes check and probably bets it, which you're scared of the ace, but for your range on the gun. And the question is what size, but you don't want to inflate the pot. You are blocking the straight, the king 10. He does bet. I like it. And I do like the size. I wouldn't go bigger. The question is this, like if Egyptian jams, which he won't, I don't imagine he would, you would have to fold. He has to call. He can never fold. So he's probably playing just, like Pat would be playing, at this point, he probably still has, minimum 6 tables left. You never know you're going to have a deep run until you do, right? Probably check. I don't think you ever, the donk out never makes sense here. I guess, a lead out. I don't think it would, like a blocker bet. You're trying to imply you have 2 pair, but you lose to all the other 2 pairs. So I think this goes check every time, but if you go for this thin value, like that's savage. Yeah, that makes sense. So this should go all the way around to probably the button with ace 8, I would imagine. Chip EV, you'd raise the 7-6 suited would be fine, but I don't think in ICM you need to. So Alan will raise and we'll get it through, it looks like. This will go to Windex, the chip leader, will raise, and then I would imagine probably all folds again, all the way around. Look at this, you're in the big blind with 4 big blinds, you can't even defend. He's got a fold here. King 9 should be a fold, I would imagine. So you could put a lot of ICM pressure here. Wow, so this will be a jam, and I think you have to call. Yeah, you're not happy about it. I think, oh, we did lose someone too. That sucks. That's a bad beat. You can't get mad at the guy, like, you have 2 big blinds to defend, but we just lost someone, so you just got to pay jump. 1800. Ace 3. I gotta be honest, I wouldn't have been opening that, especially into the chip leader in the big blind. And now you're gonna get, I'd imagine you 3-bet this every time. Ace queen suited though, you could maybe mix in a flat, but I think you have to 3-bet it. Now jacks is a gross spot. I don't think you have flats. I think you just have jams. Maybe a 4-bet, but probably just a jam. He does do a small 4-bet. I guess it goes, wow. And then what do you do with ace queen suited here? Oh my gosh. You probably have to fold. This could be like ace king suited, king aces only, and give up everything else. Like even queens in this spot. I'm not lying. I would not be shocked. If Feith had jacks here, jacks versus jacks, I think you have to fold. Oh man, so like I'm not looking up spots or anything, guys, but like, this would be fun to, you know, be really faster in tools and see. I don't think jacks is supposed to do a 4-bet there, but I could be wrong. From the small blind, but maybe. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just a jam. You know, leave yourself a big blind. King 8, that can't be right. But I wouldn't have guessed 7-9 suited raising. I'll be honest, I don't think I would have done either of those plays. I wouldn't have raised with the 7-9, and I wouldn't have jammed with the King 8. That's what makes poker. Looks like they're on a break here. Or looks like we're getting through here. We're about halfway through, roughly. So, first hand back from break, probably go to Windex with the 9s. Now he can just jam here, because 13 and 6, the ICM pressure, he'll just jam. I don't think he's strong enough to induce. Oh, he does. Yeah, it's fine. Probably jams 8s and under. I honestly, I think you just jam it though. You're letting hands like, you know, ace 2 or something jam over top you, which, you know, I guess it's not the end of the world, but I think you just jam. I guess actually that's what you want. You're allowing worse hands to jam. I don't know. I personally just would have leaned on jamming there. But 9s is probably the bottom where you want to start inducing. 10s is like 10s I wouldn't jam. Like I just thought 9s would be a jam. This will go all the way probably to Alan in the small blind, and imagine he just limps. And then let's see if Egyptian does an ISO. Because Alan has him covered, he might just check it back. But I've been wrong with Alan so far. And I wouldn't be shocked if he does a raise here, but I think it's more of a limp. And sure enough, he does a raise. I don't think ace-8 suit would ever click back, but these guys are having a battle right now. I think he just has to call here every time. A lot of guys don't give enough flowers to people, guys. Like these two players are significantly both better than me. So I'm going to be not breaking down their game to the best of my, like to their ability. Like I'm sure they're thinking things I'm not thinking. This will go check. It's, you know, it's funny. You raise, but the caller, this hits the caller's range way more. Like the raise can be raising with garbage. When you call, it's going to be a lot stronger than the raiser. Obviously the raise still has pocket aces, pocket kings, stuff like that, but this really hits Egyptian's range. Check makes sense. The fact that Alan's got a 9 here, this could go check again. I don't think there's a point of, he just want to get, you know, raised off this. Let's go check, pot control it. I don't think there's a point of Egyptian betting. No, I don't think so. I'm wondering if you had ace-8 of hearts, if you would bet and don't bet the spades. I think you just check it with the spades. But say you had the ace-8 suited of hearts if it prefers a bet, but you have showdown value. But so what does trip 9s do here? that's shown. He might try to induce. He might go small and call a raise. He might go like 2.5. And then hopefully he's only gonna get a 2 kicker, right? But you're gonna chop a lot if he does have a 9. Yeah, we're kind of thinking the same thing. To me, it's a little big because you're not really allowing bluffs. But maybe that's his intention, where you go a bit bigger for more value, and you don't get bluffed off this size as much. You know, does ace high ever call here? Against Allen, maybe you have to, but I think it's fine to fold because it's really hard for him to miss this. And my phone's blowing up today. Okay, this will go all the way around to this small stack here, 6 big blinds. I think he'll, you know, jam, leave a chip behind. Oh, and Allen has ace jack, so this will go jam, call, and they should chop it most of the time, but call, snap calls too, doesn't even. So fold, and then we'll see if there's a cooler here. Backdoor spades. No way. Okay. Always a sweat though, eh? Has to come on the turn. I don't think ace 3 off jams there. Yeah, folds. This probably goes around to blind versus blind. My bad again with Allen. I would never open queen 7 off here. Maybe if I had 90 big blinds and the rest of them were these stacks, like make up something extreme. But off this stack depth, I wouldn't be raising this. But and look at the action you just stopped. I think ace 3 has to jam here, but it would have been blind versus blind, risk of someone getting out. And now does find the jam. That's essentially going all in, right? And then Allen has to fold. Good for Feith, you know. When you're tied with someone, you know, kind of over here, or you have these shallow stacks, to still find those offsuit ace jams is very well done. I know we're just sitting here watching it, but they're playing for a lot of money up top, right? Your chance at 11,000 in Ontario, you know, doesn't come too often. You get a bean spots like this. So let's go raise, and then what does Pat do with 6s here? You don't really flat, yeah. Just doesn't even think about it. I wonder when you start, you know, do you have to flat 8s? Ace king off, well, there's no point in doing a small raise. I wonder if you limp. I would always just jam here though, go like, you know, 5 or whatever, 4.5 or same thing. He's leaving himself a couple of big blinds. This will go all the way around. Now ace 10 on the button probably has to fold. Ace 10 suited you would call. Maybe, yeah. ICM's tricky, man. Like it really is. But I think that has to be a fold. I've been wrong quite a bit already though, so, but I would be folding here. Nice. But already, guys, like those who are faster on tools, and you can like screenshot a whole bunch of which ones to go, fun to look up. Jack Queen. Oh, I don't think that's an open. I think that's he shouldn't have raised there. He gets it through, but I don't think he should raise there. But maybe I'm wrong. Like chip EV, yeah, but Allen 9-10 suited under the gun here, like a boss. And then once again, Pat keeps waking up with hands right behind him. And he flats. I do like the flat instead of 3-betting this time. Oh, look at this. Top pair versus top over pair with these guys are going ham at each other. I still think he's got to check it though. Yeah, I don't think you bet. Pat's got no 7s. He's kind of capped here, right? So does he check it? He probably checks it. Because, like, can you imagine getting checked raised there? Oh my gosh. Look at this, guys. Full house move. But if you think about it, what can Pat call worse with? You know, some ace highs, but he doesn't really have lower pocket pairs. He has like no, there's only one combo 7, like ace 7 suited, but that wouldn't flat. So he's got 0 7s. And he leads out here, but like, I know they could both call it ace highs, but like for value, there's nothing really Allen beats. This is so strange. Look at this. He blocks the 9 too. Like, you're trying to only get called by what? Like ace X, ace, ace Jack, ace Queen. That's decided to flat ace King. And he bets. Is he trying to induce and call it off here? What does Jacks do? I don't think you can ever raise here if you're Pat. How gross of a spot is this? If he raises, could you do a raise fold? Yeah, maybe a raise fold. He just calls. I do like the safer line. He did call. Wow, that spot's insane. Wow, that's a crazy hand. 10-9 suited. Does it find the jam? I don't think so. I think you fold here. You just fold. 10 Jack suited, you jam. Ace Queen's gonna raise and probably, Allen will defend the big blind. Should go raise. Big blind defends. So this will go check, bet, fold. Now, interesting if Allen had like the 9 of diamonds, say 7 of 9 and the 9 of diamonds. You float with 2 overcards of the 6 and a diamond. A leaning on yes, but maybe not. So this goes fold. King 9 should fold. This will go all the way to the Windex. Chip leader will raise. And then Allen's got a spot with the Queen Jack suited. Can mix in some 3 bets. You can flat because you're in second place more or less, but maybe even a 3 bet. It could be one of those ICM ones where it was king queen suited, you just jam, but Queen Jack called. But I wouldn't be shocked if that's a jam. I think king queen suited for sure because you're blocking more. Maybe not with the Jack. You can float here. Good for Windex sizing up a little bit. I know it doesn't look like much. If he goes, like, say you bet 1 to 1.5, you do have to float wider, call. Especially if you went half pot there, narrows that. I'd raise with 6s here. This should get all the way to Feeth, where I think you have to defend. You're getting low enough where you're off suit. Probably doesn't defend Jack 9, Jack 8, but I think Jack 10 has to defend. I don't think you ever want to jam. So probably defend, but we'll see. So this will go check. It should go check, bet, fold. Let's see what size Windex uses. This is one of the sizes you can almost pit, like bet 1, 1.5. Yeah, I do like it. Puts on a lot of pressure. Gets that out of there. Deny equity and take it down. This will go all the way to Allen. We'll probably raise, seeing what we've seen. Watch me be wrong this time, but I would imagine he gets out of line again here. But he does have patriotism covered beside him. So I think if Egyptian, say Egyptian had like 50 big blinds, then maybe he folds ace 2. But right now when they're even, maybe he's really tanking on this one. I didn't think it was that hard of a decision. I could be playing other tables, who knows, right? Sorry, my phone's, I'm just getting so many messages. Tank, min raise. This might get a lot of folds just because of that. And that's the thing, you never know, right? He could be on another table. Who knows, right? But you might get a lot of folds when you change your tempo like that. He was playing very, very fast and then folds. And then, Egyptian takes the opposite. He's like, if it was a hard decision, I'm going to fuck with you. Oh my God. Sitting out. He's having connection issues. No way. Is he going to miss ace jack? He's back. Wow. How about Egyptian? I wonder if he just did that based on timing, because queen 4 suited was queen 4, right? Wow, so he just went at him strictly timing tell. I can't think of any other reason why he would do that. Oh, is he gonna time out with ace jack? No way. This sucks to see, man. He was just back. Oh, that's a bad beat, man. I know these guys can't see his hand. Oh, and look at this now. Now ace five with these stack sizes, he's gonna raise. Sorry, I didn't know I fold. I thought first he was show like low. Say he was 6 big blinds. I think he would just jam. Going to take my time. He's trying to let Alan back. That's classy. That's the good thing about high stakes guys. You don't always see it at the lower stakes. These guys all know each other for the most part. Alan and Egyptian are friends. To try to get the table to slow down. It's good to see. You definitely don't see it enough in poker. Looks like Windex is agreeing. Yeah, so the whole table is trying to. That's classy to see. This is like if you were playing a $20 tournament, they'll do the opposite. They'll speed up just to get a ladder jump, right? But this is karma too. You're hoping when you get disconnected, people will do it for you. And I come from the spin and go life where the guys don't do it. I've been guilty of not waiting because there's some players who don't pay you the same courtesy. And unfortunately you get disconnected a lot. Tournaments you have time to get back, but at the time you get back in a spin and go, a lot of times you lose. Anyways, let's get back here. This probably goes folded all the way around. Windex just gets in a walk here. It looks like Alan's back if he's typing. So this will go all the way around to Feith, I'd imagine. I don't think Pat opens up 10-8 suited. Yeah, so that's interesting. I wonder if he did because the big blind shallow, and I wonder if Windex was in the big blind if he wouldn't have. Feith has to jam here or, leave a... Oh my gosh, queens are in the same hand. I didn't even see queens sitting there. So this is going to go raise, jam, Egyptian has to fold, and then we got the classic flip. It looks like ace king versus queens. It just seems to always happen in poker, right? Okay, it shows you the percentages, before they're even all in. That's really cool. That actually helps you for study, because then you have to have a certain amount of equity to call a hand. Here we go. He's got the spade, queen of spades for help, and he doubles up. Feast down to 1.5. That's a tough spot to be in on a big funnel table. Okay, this should go all the way around to, I don't think Melon should raise. So Windex should just jam here. He'll just jam into these two stacks and we'll get folds. Some poker's just very straightforward, right? All in, fold, you feel like a boss, like you're muscling these guys out, and you never know, but they just have trash, but it does bring up your confidence. This will go all the way to I fold you show, should raise, and I don't know if Alan finds the call here. I think you just defend. This is where I'm still struggling with my weak offsuit hands in ICM. Chip EV, it's a straight, you just defend it. ICM though, Alan finds a 3-bet. So it shows you where he's at. And I like this, the bet size here is 6. Some people go too big and snap jam. Wow, so ace queen off, I lean on more jamming. Ace queen suited in position. I actually think he took the last one I would have done. I would have leaned on calling, leaned on more of a small 4-bet before jamming. Ace queen off I would have jammed. I don't think I would have jammed ace queen suited. I would really like even the smaller 4-bet and then call it off. But yeah, I'm saying that from not playing 10 tables and don't have the pressure of the pay jumps. But I don't know what the best play is. This is standard. Feith is down to 1 big blind and wakes up with a hand. How does that always happen in poker? You have 1 big blind and people get like an ace here. You could have 2-4 offsuit. He gets 8-9. He gets top pair. He's gonna double up. How funny is poker, man? There's some people too. I'm not trying to talk shit on Feith, but it's crazy. There's arch nemesis who just always get it. Like I play spin and goes where people are down to 1 big blind all the time. And then the amount of times certain people always come back from one big blind is just like, some people do it a lot more often than other people. Eights, this should get all the way to the big blind, and then again, so the big blind can actually attack the chip leader here. Ace 9 off is probably the best blockers almost, just to jam it. Ace 7, you can't do anything. I think you have to fold. So, it doesn't even think about it. I wouldn't have hated a jam against the chip leader. I don't know if it's, maybe because this guy's down to 3.8 and 2. If the stack sizes were more equal, maybe you jam. Sixes at this, now this makes sense. Oh, Alan's got another hand. Wow. And do you have smalls 3 bets? I think so. Does he go 4.5 to 5? He'll be in position, so I can go a little smaller here, maybe 4.5, 4.2. Does he get disconnected again? If he loses ace jack and ace queen. No, just 3 betting. What does sixes do now? If you jam, it's a lot of pressure. But he's got to know it's as much as Alan's been aggressive. Like, look at these stack sizes. That's interesting, guys. Like, these are a lot of spots where it'd be really, I'm not fast in the trainer, but to go through this many hands to look up, I'm wondering if sixes are better off just dunking it in his face, because like you pretty much have to have ace queen, pocket 10s and under fold maybe, or definitely pocket 9s. Ace 5 standard jam, but ace jack off folds. I think ace queen would have to fold. I think it would be like ace king, and like jacks plus would have to call. 10-2 suited. I wasn't paying attention. I guess there's only a couple big blinds, but it seemed a little too loose to me. And you don't need to get the guy to the tournament. I don't. Yeah, he's got half of that. I don't think I would have defended 10-2 there. I think you just fold. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't have defended, I don't think, because like him being this shallow helps you as the chip leader as well. Excuse me. I think an ICM 6 is a fold here, but I could be wrong. I'm playing another final table or something, looking up a hand. King 5 suited, I wouldn't have raised here. Now king jack turns, it was about to go all in, has to fold now. Oh, never mind. Well, I guess so. Yeah, sorry. I'm just literally talking out loud, guys. Oh, now he runs into kings. That's just a bad beat. So it should go raise, folds all the way around. And then Fee's got to get lucky here. 9 or 10. No, GG. So yeah, some pretty wild stuff so far. Some of it's been straightforward. Some guys taking way different lines than I would. Some of these spots I don't know who's right or wrong. That's the fun thing about poker 8. Ace 10 has to raise here. Now king 8 from the chip leader can do 2 things. It can flat behind you and put you in a horrible spot. It could also 3-bet you. King 6, king 5 leans on a bit more 3-bets. King 8. I still think you can just 3-bet them. With this 6, 7, 12, I would 3-bet. Yeah, good job. Interesting the stack on the bet size. I don't think you have to go that big. It's not horrible. I know it's very little. I'd maybe have just went to 5.5 to 6. I don't think I would have went this big because you really don't want to lose. Like if he jams here, which I don't think you can because the 7s and 6s, this would be friggin' nasty if you know the chip leader's going at you this hard and you jam here. Wouldn't have like absolutely hated it, like been blown away. But I understand not doing that. So ace jack will raise, ace king will raise here. This will get folds all the way around. I don't imagine Alan defends 6-5 offsuit here. Should go fold unless I'm wrong. Yeah, fold. So this will go 8-6. The chip leader here is suited. You could probably open this. Oh, he didn't. So 8-7 suited raise, but this I probably would have with these stack sizes. I would have raised. When I say that, like I mean like looking at it now. in game. It's hard to know you're going to hit all these spots. Ace 4 suited should be a jam here, I'd imagine. Leave yourself a blind behind, maybe 2 blinds or something, but you should jam and he'll get it through. Yeah, leaves himself. I like that. I like that better than leaving yourself like a half big blind. That's nice. This will be a jam. Tanking to let him know don't mess with my big blinds. Excuse me. Sevens. I don't think you start open ripping. Wakes into ace jack will jam. I would have sold that a little bit. I wouldn't have just. Here we go. Sevens call. We have a flip. Do we lose someone else? 10. Oh, we do lose someone else. I don't know why I thought 10. I was thinking too quick. So now we're down to 6 people. 6th place gets 3,000. Next page jump goes to 3,900. So now ICM a lot. I think ace 10 here. I think you just jam. I don't think you induce. I would leave myself 1 big blind or same thing. Yeah, so he just jams. Yep. They all start playing fast now, the guys who are left. This will go, I'd imagine they're all going to be playing pretty fast. So this, I think you raise, but it's not bad to, you know the chip leader is going to be putting a lot of pressure here. He can honestly jam here. I know it sucks, but like when the other guy's at 10, yeah, that's interesting. I know you don't jam any 2, but I don't know. That might be a jam. Full jacks raises. Now jack queen. This is where ICM. This is where you can click in a 3-bet. You can flat behind as well. It does well post flop in position. You can really put pressure, but I would not hate a 3-bet. But this is where I'd go smaller again. I'd go to 5 if he 3-bets. These look at the dynamic. Before it was Allen and Egyptian just with hands and chip stacks. Oh, and he folds. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. King queen will raise, and once again ace jack. So look at these spots when you keep thinking someone's messing with you, and just these hands. He's got to 3-bet this one, and that he's just gonna go 5, and then king queen suited, guys, is one of those hands that often can just jam, because you but it does so well too. You know, I could see calling or jamming the king queen suited. You know, I know I follow style a little bit, and I don't want to talk exploits too much. I think he's a guy that likes to jam more of these suited broadways. You know, but I don't want to. But yeah, I don't hate a flat here, especially with ICM pay jumps like 7, 13, coolers happen 10. But I think a jam's fine here, and he does find the jam fast. Wow. Gotta be honest, in game, I don't know if I would. I tend to like, you know, to want to play that post flop. But good for him, man. I do think that one I'd really like to look up in a chart with these stack sizes. It's so funny, like where like king jack suited could be not a jam, but king queen suited is. So here it's just a defend. Ooh, top pair. So king 6 won't be able to get away from this. When you're this shallow, it's probably gonna go bet jam. You can't even. Maybe you call if he bets 1. You bet 1.5 against 1.5. I think you just jam because he's gonna have draws that have to call, some queen X's, ace highs sometimes even. I don't think ace high you're too deep. You can't really let go of a pair. Probably jam call, but it does jam call. King queen. GG. Wow. I think that's the correct play to jam there. I don't think you want to slow play that. So 9's here. I don't think you jam at 24 bigs. Don't hate it. I really don't when someone's at 7. But you're kind of saying, like, what else do you jam besides like those 9s and 10s? You're not jamming jacks. You're probably not just open jamming ace jack. What's this? Is there a break? 5-minute break? Okay, perfect. Nine's open, but yeah, I'm interesting if Egyptian had 18 big blinds there, if he decides to jam there as opposed to open. So ace king will raise here, probably get it to the big blind, has to defend. King 4 suited, king 6 suited, sometimes clicks back. I don't think king 3. Doesn't even defend. Wow, I never would have guessed that. Especially just the dynamic of Egyptian on this table here. I really, he picked my last option, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if he would have done a 3-bet or a defend there. I never would have thought he would have folded that. This here, I guess, is fine. Yeah, you're 4 or 5-handed. Very close to the bottom, guys. King 8 would be a fold. King 9, I don't know. And then, yeah, just call. You never want to go all in. Just call. This will go fold, fold. And then now, I guess we'll have to lose one here if it's king, queen versus king 9 majority of the time. As he spikes the friggin' 9. Poker is so cruel. Alan can't fold. Outflops you. And then he spikes the queen. Oh my gosh. So they're down to 4 people. That guy got like 4,000 though. Now they have 5,000 locked up. Then it goes to 66. So this is a big pay jump. Ace 10. So, wow, fast 3-bet. Very nice. Now, what do you do with the same hand? I don't think you can call. I think it's only jams or folds. I really like Adam. I fold you shows 3-bet here. Especially how fast too. I wonder if Alan's thinking of clicking back a 4-bet fold. I wonder if he's thinking of just going 10. That'd have been so nasty. Queen 10 probably raises here. Yeah, queen 10's got to raise. I think it gets all the way through. Yeah, jack 6 can't defend. All right, so blind versus blind. We got a battle here. A2. So the question is, do you limp and deuce or do you ISO with ace jack? Knowing Alan, I think he raises. Is my guess. I've been wrong though. Yeah, so ICM, you might want to just limp jam. Strong enough to induce. Does the Egyptian check a backdoor? If he goes like 3, Alan's gonna jam all day. He just jams. Wow. Ace jack. That's crazy. So I don't know if you do that. Chip EV makes sense. I don't think it does in ICM. Like, really, what are you hoping he calls if he does call with? I know you get folds. I don't know. I don't think I like that. Aces here has to probably just limp. I don't think you raise. I think you just limp. He does raise, yeah. Me personally, I raise because I don't want to get outflopped. I think in ICM though, I'm wondering if that's a limp. A lot of these spots, guys, like I literally don't know, right? I wouldn't have hated a limp, but I get it. I hate, like, even this flop, when you limp, you're nervous, right? I'd bet small here. Oh, he went big. Yeah, I would have went a little smaller, but 8-7 suited. I think you have to give up to the second and first here. Limp. Let's see if he ISOs him. Doesn't even think about it. So this will go check. Probably check. Do you bet with second pair? Yeah, maybe. And then has to fold. Yeah, check bet. Yeah, does make sense. I'm wondering if it's better to raise that pre though in the ace 5. Fold, raise from the button. Ooh, king 5 suited here. Can really mix in a raise here. If you do, you know, maybe 6.5 to 7, I'd go 7. Don't think you need to go bigger than that. He did click back the 3-bet. Well done, Windex. Queen 8 suit's got a fold here. Well done, sir. Let's go, baby. Ace King. This is, I don't think Egyptian will blast off. I would imagine. Oh my gosh, 8-10. Oh yeah, sorry, 8-10. That makes sense. Sorry, I didn't think of that. I just was staring at the Ace King. So I think this is one of those times you just jam. No, ICM. He'll do a small 3-bet. Chip EV he would have jammed. ICM different. I mean, he goes big. Goes 7, he'll get a fold. Yeah, so I think this was chip EV he would have jammed, but not ICM. So this will go fold, fold, fold. Oh, and you get a walk with jacks, you're flipping. 8-9 suited will raise knowing Allen. And then twos. Twos might just jam here. This could be, is it any pocket pair? It's close, man. I think it has to be at 12. That's the thing. Like, so I think call it 15, 17 big blinds. You probably fold twos here. But at 12 and a half, 12-9, I wonder if he's jamming here. He doesn't. That's interesting. Twos could be a jam there. I'm leaning on that it is. They were talking, but I don't think that messes with his range. Jack 10 probably folds here, and then Ace 8 will open. King 6 suited's got another 3-bet hand here. So this should go raise, and we can get another 3-bet. He can flat, being this deep. It is, you're seeing it a lot more in the higher stakes, like GG Masters, chip leaders, and he folds. Wow, to me, he missed one there. I think he picked the worst option. I think like maybe flatting's the best, and then 3-betting, 3-bet fold second. But chip leader, King X suited, I wouldn't have folded there, knowing the pressure you can put. Good for Allen. Just that's where I got to get better at. I think I would have limped in with 10-6. Should go fold. King 5. Does he just jam here? This can go jam call. This could be a double up or an all in. This really could be. This could be a jam call, and he limps. Yeah. Does he just jam? So it'd be really curious. I think if he jams, I fold still has to call, and you're not pumped about it. You're always at best flipping, right? Wow, you get a walk with 3-2. Nice life being chip leader. Queen 7 suited will raise again with another. Windex is getting a lot of these hands from the being able to 3-bet spots. They're right on those hands. I think this is like one of your best combos. I think it's gonna go raise 3-bet and another fold, and then you feel so good when you get these through. Probably raises. Now, me personally, I wouldn't do a min raise. When Pat's down to 10, I would be raising this up to like 2.5. And he does find the 3-bet. Let's go, baby. He's going to get it through again. Holy moly. And he's always mixing his bet sizes a little bit. See how much it changes with stack sizes? Just a little bit of like a blind here, blind there. We've seen him use like 3 different bet sizes. 7.2. Sorry, I imagine you got a fold 7 deuce. This is going to be a jam fold. You got to fold Queen 7, Queen 6, right? Yeah. So this is gonna go. I don't know what he has there. Pocket 8s. No, 2-9 suit. Fold. So this is a jam call. This is nothing thinking about this one. This is just a cooler. Does he double up? Fives versus ace queen. Queen on the river. GG to Pat. Well played, Egyptian. He got what for his work? 6,000. Sorry, 5,000. Now they have 6,600 locked up. King 3 there. I think I'd prefer a raise than a limp. To like 2.5, 2.75. Check. Now you get the king. This is where I'd bet. I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet min. I'd be at like 1.5. I wouldn't. It's not horrible, but I think I would have sized up a bit. This will go raise, fold. 3-2 suited, you defend. I would imagine with the stack depth, you defend. Check, bet, fold. Let's see if you have what size he uses again. 1.5. 1.5, yeah. Anywhere like 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. Raise, fold. Oh my gosh, here comes a 3-bet. Let's see his size here. 5.5, maybe 5. I think anywhere between 5 and 6. Hey, he went bigger. Out of position. Yep. Yep. And you have to fold. Curious what you do with like Jack 10 suited there. Do you flat or jam? Queen 10 will raise, Ace 5 will defend, I would imagine. You could 3-bet it. Defended, check, bet, fold. I like the half pot bet there. Me and Adam play a lot of these the same. I'd almost use almost the exact same bet size. He floated with the Ace 5. Wow, the inside showdown spade. I like it. Now look, the ace is better. Wow, he does check it, and it's actually better for Alan of all times. So do you do a blocker bet here? Go like 3. I'd bet 3. When you see my mouse moving around, I was playing tables, moving around tables, and he goes huge. Wow. I was not expecting that. I guess he's capped himself. Like, what ace X's are you checking back on the turn? I was not expecting a big bet. I think I would have went blocker. Standard, yeah. Okay, raise, fold, fold. This is so different, guys. Sorry to keep bringing it up. I wouldn't be min raising here like how they're doing. I'd be sizing it up a bit. But you do see this even at GG Masters. On a trainer, they don't like that as much. Fold, fold. Probably fold, fold. Oh, sorry, is he gonna limp queen too? Maybe he limps, no. It's gotten a lot longer than I thought. We have 8 minutes left. Okay, good, because I got stuff I have to do. Wow. Oh yeah, I think there's a chop. 3.2. Yeah, I do like the ISO raise. So he did it with king, sorry, 10-2, but not like, we saw like a king 5. Yeah, what do you do with king 2 here? Wow, he clicked back at him. Alan's a boss. I wouldn't have found that, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I would have done this in game. Very nice click back. He's got a fold, but wow, that is a very nice raise there. Ace 2 I would have found. I gotta be honest, I don't think I would have found the king 2 here. Probably fold. Oh, he raised the 4-5. Small blind will fold now. I would imagine he folds and get a defend from the big blind. Oh, a 3-bet. Was not thinking that. People are coming out swinging, baby. Love to see it. Fold, limp, check. Wow, this must escalate real fast if this is over in a couple minutes. There must be a big cooler coming because they're all deep. Like, there must be a big pot, like one big pot or something. 6-7 raises, 8-6. I think he's still fold 8-6 suited. So this is another one. He can click back a 3-bet. He can defend. Knowing Alan, I'm surprised he didn't 3-bet that one. I guess you can't do all of them, right? So that's why he's probably using a randomizer. You can't take every combo. He has to call here. Is he gonna 3-bet? He does 3-bet him. Or sorry, check raise, sorry. And 6-7. Flush draw inside. Has to call. Oh, he's got the flush. He's got the Zesta cooler. You must get the nut flush versus flush. Just because I saw we have a couple minutes left. Sorry to spoil it. It must be if it's this big. I like the lead out here from, obviously he's C-bet, got the perfect card. It is a cooler. Fuck, poor Adam. You have it on the turn against a very aggressive. Does he just blast off and call, and does he maybe gets hero called? Oh wow, he used a small size, max value. So I wonder if he, with having the ace, if he ever fold to a jam. I was thinking like a queen wouldn't. Oh my gosh, that's interesting that he used that size. I was thinking of his jamming 100%. I thought we lost one there. Oh man, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. He used like probably the last size I would use. I could see half pot all in. Wow, it was very interesting. Check. Yeah. Fold. He's probably gonna limp jam, but he's not gonna get an ISO. He might get an ISO with 2-3 and then just jam fold. He did, yeah. So I'd imagine he jams this. Nice, nice. King 8 will raise. A6. A6 might jam him here. He might just call. Top pair flush draw. Yeah, I like the call pre. He chose this small bet size this time. That's interesting. I think he still bets and he goes big. Well played. That is a very nice bet. That puts even A6. You're not pumped about that. Alan finds the call. Does he find the... I guess so. He picked up the perfect 2-pair. Wow, this has got to be it. He decides he's got a blocker to the straight. Snap call. Oh my gosh. So I wonder, say that 5 dropped. Oh my gosh. If he doesn't catch 2-pair on the river, I bet you that bluff works. I don't know if you hero call the ace there. Yeah, so I did see this part when they took a chop. I saw that. So they're done now, guys. They just talk. Wow, that last hand there. Good job for Adam finding the blast there. And really cool to ask Alan if this would be fun to do with someone one time, one of the players who won it or something like that, or who did win it, and do this together. If he doesn't catch 2-pair there, if that bluff works. Anyways, guys, that was like my first one I've ever done. They take a chop here. I think it's just they each get 10,000. I hope you enjoyed it. It is long. I got stuff I have to do. It was my first one of these. One of these I might get someone to do one with me if people find them cool. Hopefully you learned something. I'm sure I was wrong about a lot of this. I'd love to hear some comments, especially from the Ontario players who know these guys, maybe even the people who are at the final table. So good luck in your grinds, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.